So do you need to be able to see your numbers to be able to make great decisions? It's a really interesting situation that I've encountered recently with my blind rescue cow, Henrietta, who is behind me right there, that may teach you a really important lesson around how to create a profitable business. So a little bit of a backstory. Now, we have an animal sanctuary up in far north Queensland. We've rescued and rehomed over 100 animals, and we get random calls all of the time for animals that have had a change in situation or are not in a great environment and need to be rehomed. And Henrietta was one of those characters. Now, Henrietta is about 6 months old. She is a Brangus, and she was on a cattle farm, and the farmer felt sorry for her. She was born blind, and she was kind of okay on the farm, but he wanted to see her go to a good home. So we went and grabbed her, brought her back, and we were immediately really concerned. We're like, okay, how's she going to get around? We've obviously got fences. How does she going to know what to do, where to find water, so on and so forth? So we brought her back with the best intentions, and we've been acclimatizing her ever since. And the interesting thing is that she immediately settled in. Sure, she bumped into a couple of fences here and there. It took her about a day to find out where the water was, but the herd basically adopted her, showed her around, made her feel at home, and all of her other senses have compensated for her lack of sight. And she's basically cruising around. The rest of the herd is over there, so she sometimes just cruises around on her own. Whether she knows or not, I'm not sure, but it was really interesting to observe. Now, what does this mean for you and your business? Well, I see so many business owners that are flying completely blind financially in their business. They don't even look at their P&L, they don't track their KPIs and their numbers. They basically have absolutely no understanding of their financial position. And basically, they find themselves in a position whereby they get hit for a 6 because they have unforeseen expenses or unforeseen cash flow issues that could have been predicted if only they had the foresight, right? Now, the issue is that for so many business owners, what they share in common with Henrietta is that they are blind to the numbers. They're not financial folks, right? They don't understand how to make the numbers work for them. They don't know how to crunch the numbers. But there are other senses that they could be using in order to get a deeper understanding of how they're performing financially. And one of those senses is what I refer to as bank balance accounting. Your bank balance doesn't lie on the assumption that you have a certain amount of segmentation in your bank balance where you have the ability to discern an amount of money that sits in a particular bank account is reserved for a really explicit and specific purpose. What we set up for our clients is we have an income account where all of their income comes into, but no expenses come out of. We have a cost of sales account that pays for their subcontractors and their materials. They then have an OPEX account that pays for their rent, their salaried employees, their subscriptions, any of their overall fixed expenses. We've got an owner's pay account where they pay themselves, their number one employee of their business, to ensure that they're always able to be paid what they're worth. We've got a tax account where we put money aside for GST, for PAYG, for corporate tax, and we also have a profit account. Because as a business owner, you deserve to get 2 paychecks. You should be paid for the work that you do in your business, and you should be paid for the risk that you take for holding an investment in your business. Now, if we work out how much should be split into each of these bank accounts, at a glance, you can work out exactly how you are performing financially without having to do any maths. You don't need to have sight. You basically just need to be able to look at those numbers. In this particular example, you probably need to have some sight, but you get what I mean. And then you basically are able to make a decision on the basis of what those bank account balances are. That will ultimately dictate whether you're in a good position, whether you need to focus on more sales, whether you've got excess cash that you can reinvest back into other things, whether you should be paying yourself more money, or whether you should be distributing profits to shareholders. The idea here is that this gives us a completely different sense of how we typically work with our numbers, which is largely that we get overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information that our accountant sends us, and breaking it back down to really simple, straightforward numbers that doesn't require you to use any brain power in order to make a decision. This allows you to navigate your financial journey, or in Henrietta's case, the paddock, with ease, with peace of mind, and with certainty, knowing that you don't need to be a mathematician to know how you're performing. So if you want help with this, guys, we've actually put together a 40-point financial performance scorecard. You can jump into my bio, and there's a link in there, and you can complete that scorecard and help you work out exactly where you should be focusing your time and attention, both personally and in your business. You get a customized report telling you exactly what you should be doing next based on where you are at your journey, and we can help you improve your profits and your personal wealth lightning fast. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments, and we'll catch you soon.